Chip stocks roared back from the edge of a bear market before AMD earnings were announced. The chip sector roared back from the edge of a bear market Monday, ahead of a fresh week of earnings reports from Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated and other semiconductor companies. The PHLX Semiconductor Index SOX briefly dipped its toe into bear market territory in Friday trading, hitting an intraday low of 3,147.48. 20% lower than its closing high of 4,039.51 on the 27th of December. Yet the sector roared back after hitting that low Friday and continued the gains into Monday's session. At current levels, the SOX is 15% off its high, still firmly in a correction but safer from a bear market. While early earnings reports provided forecasts that weren't up to Wall Street's expectations, there are a host more to come. Leading gainers Monday were shares of big names with earnings reports still to come, including AMD, which rallied as much as 7%, followed by shares of Nvidia Corporation, NVDA, up 5%. Earnings preview: chips may be sold out for 2022 thanks to shortage, but investors are worried about the end of the party. AMD is scheduled to report after the close on Tuesday and is widely expected to keep up its tradition of topping Wall Street expectation and provide, as one analyst put it, an aggressive but achievable outlook for 2022. AMD rival Intel Corporation. INTC predicted weaker than expected earnings last week while Wall Street voiced concern about PC sales falling off. Netherlands-based NXP Semiconductors NV NXPI chipmaker, which has a large footprint in supplying chips to the beleaguered auto industry, is scheduled to report its earnings Monday afternoon. Since automakers are one of the hardest hit industries by the chip shortage, those earnings will be closely watched. At last check, US shares of NXP were up 6%. Deep dive: these 7 semiconductor stocks may be close to a bottom. This chart pattern shows when and how much they might rebound. Qualcomm Incorporated, which serves as a barometer for mobile device chips with its 5G products, is scheduled to report on Wednesday. Following that, GlobalFoundries Incorporated. GFS reports on February the 8th, Nvidia reports on the 16th of February. Marvell Technology Incorporated. MRVL is forecast to report around the 10th of March. Broadcom Incorporated. Avgo is expected to report around the 17th of March, and Micron Technology Incorporated. MU caps the season with a report estimated around the 30th of March. Even before chip companies started to report earnings last week, the sector had been threatening to slip into a bear market and fell under even more pressure as outlooks of 4 out of 5 companies were weaker than expected, mostly owing to supply chain disruptions amid a global chip shortage. In fact, the only chip maker to forecast a strong outlook last week was Texas Instruments Incorporated, TXN, which said it was placing additional strategic emphasis on industrial and automotive customers. Earnings preview: AMD is about to wander into a minefield along with Intel and Texas Instruments last week. Lam Research Corporation, LRCX, which makes the manufacturing equipment chip makers need, fell short of expected revenue for the quarter and issued a weaker than expected forecast because of supply chain problems, as did rival KLA Corporation. CLAC, which issued a weaker than expected forecast. Additionally, data storage products company Western Digital Incorporated, WDC, which also forecast a weak quarter. Concerning performance below recent highs on a broader level, the Dow Jones Industrial Average DJIA is 5% off its January the 4th closing high, while the SP 500 Index SPX is 6.5% off its January the 3rd, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite Index Comp 12% off its the 19th of November high.